Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon, assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. Let's take a look at what we're discussing in the world of sports. Let's take a look at our lineup. There are a lot of things that are circulating around the world as well, but you know, when you talk about cricket in particular, that is something that we have been focusing on in regular intervals as well, and there's a lot to be said as well. And like I keep on saying, that it's very important to understand the upcoming events. And England now faces Pakistan in a test series. They've announced their 17-member squad as well for this series. Ben Stokes makes a comeback as the England skipper. He's coming back after injury. He was not part of the Sri Lanka series, of course, but although England won the series, but their loss to Sri Lanka in the final test match would obviously be something that they'll be very critical upon as well. So of course they don't have the luxury of Mark Wood. He's out injured, but still enough in this squad that can trouble Pakistan. We're already very vulnerable at home. We already know that as well. So we talk about that in detail, and I think we will discuss the squad with you as well and give you all there is to know. Two spinners have been added that include Shoaib Bashir and of course Rehan as well. So we discuss that in detail. Apart from Pakistan, there's no news yet of the squad, the captain who's going to continue consistently. Are there going to be any changes? We're still not sure. Then we move on and we discuss some more things on Sports Extra in detail. Of course, we discuss Pakistan's heroics at the Asian Championship. Pakistan have been brilliant in the Asian Champions Trophy so far. They, after drawing their both games, they were both ended in a draw. They've won the third game from Japan by 2-1. They've scored the first goal in the first quarter. Second quarter, of course, Japan scored a goal. Pakistan, of course, took the lead, and then in the third and fourth quarter, they held on to that lead as well. Before that, Japan lost to India 5-0. So Pakistan now on the points table is at the second position behind India. They occupy 5 points. Their next games are, of course, with India and China. The results are going to be very important for Pakistan. But I think it's good that we taste victory as well, because like I said, we couldn't get over the line in the first two games. So that's what we discuss in detail right after this short break. Stay tuned to Sports Extra. Welcome back to Sports Extra. Now we discuss things in detail regarding hockey, and joining us in studios is international fitness expert and also somebody who happens to have a lot of insight into hockey as well because of his time with the team. Najib Khattak joins us. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's been remarkable. Pakistan have won their game 2-1. So of course, congratulations to them. But you know, so far something is still missing in this team. When I was talking to you off air as well, I mentioned that stamina seems to be a very pertinent problem right now. Game plan, strategy. How would you analyze Pakistan's performance?
Yes, today we won the match. In first two quarters we played very good. You know, Ahmed Tahir Zaman, the FIH master coach, joined Pakistan hockey team. Right now he is a coach, and he take charge very late. So he is trying to do a lot of new things, giving a plan, structure, organized hockey. So in first two matches he deliver a different plans, and today the third match he also plan a different plan. So in the first two matches our players take unnecessary green cards. When you taking a green cards, Ahmed, you know, your player number in reducing. So you sometimes you have 9 players, sometimes you have 10 players, and the opponent team getting benefit of your less players. So the coach gave a plan today to the players that trying to do not take unnecessary cards, so our players avoid to take cards. This is the first strategy,
and that's really made a difference as well, I think.
Exactly, because when you lost a player, when you lost a player, your player numbers are decreased.
Yes, you are outnumbered.
Yes, outnumbered. So in the opponent team getting the benefit of this, and the head coach sitting in the upstairs, he giving instruction to the assistant coach that take advantage of this and give a take to this side. So when you have a less number of players, you will be in a deficit.
Absolutely, so automatically I think you end up in a difficult situation. But we've got a report to look at and analyze this performance as well. Let's take a look.
Pakistan bagged the first victory of the ongoing Asian Hockey Champions Trophy by beating Japan by 2-1. Nadeem Ahmed scored a goal in the first quarter to give Pakistan the lead, but Japan equalized by scoring a goal in the second quarter. In the 10th minute of the second quarter, Sufyan Khan scored a goal to restore Pakistan's lead, which was enough to secure a victory. Pakistan's first two games ended in a draw. The Green Shirts' clash against South Korea ended in a 2-2 draw after they failed to defend their two-goal lead. Pakistan's match against Malaysia also ended in a 2-2 draw. Pakistan will play against China on September 12, followed by India on September 14.
Right, so there you have it, all you need to know. Now, Najib, the next two games automatically are very, very important for Pakistan. They're facing India, who are dominating completely so far, and they also face China, which look to be in a very better position than they have been before.
Yes, exactly. Ahmed, the both matches is very important. And the interesting thing about this Asian Champion Trophy, expect India, the 5 team is now in competition phase. No one team is disqualified yet. The 3 matches is gone and no team is out yet from that event. So the next 2 matches are very interesting for every team. No team is disqualified yet. So the Pakistan and China tomorrow match is very crucial. If Pakistan win the match, inshallah they will qualify for semi-final, and China will give Pakistan tough time. So the match position is very compulsory. Not for Pakistan. The remaining match of every nation, every team, very, very important for every nation. So
what can Pakistan do better now? If you analyze the game planning or strategy right now, like you mentioned that one of the plan was to make sure that you don't get unnecessary green cards and keep your numbers. But the style of play that we are playing right now, considering China, India, and going deeper to the tournament, which is one thing that you want to see improved right now?
Yes, Ahmed, we should first of all I explained before that we should avoid unnecessary card. So we should focus on plenty corners. You know, Sufyan is in very good form. He always, we are watching, he scored a goal. So he is our main asset. We should focus, and we will try to get maximum number of plenty corners and focus on attacking hockey. So we should build up ball position, and unnecessary cards, unnecessary fouls we should avoid. So the China team also in good form. The match will be very important for both and will be very crucial. And the structure hockey, organized hockey, which team played a good hockey, organized hockey, structure hockey, they will have a good result.
Absolutely, they will, and I certainly think that all of us still do believe that we've got a lot of potential in this as well, but we all need a structured approach, and that's why I think, Najib, you would agree, because like you mentioned as well, that if you want improvements, they will take time. So during that time, we cannot be result oriented.
Exactly. Yes, we should give them a time. And the major things, Ahmed, when Pakistan team appoint a hockey coach, we don't give him a proper time, mean periodization, 2 year, 4 year. Recently we have Roland Altmans. He was the coach in Junior World Cup. You see our junior players played a Junior World Cup quarter final, make a history after a long time. And after this, you see Pakistan played Aslan Shah final. After this, in Poland, 8-nation tournament. So after this, Roland Altmans did not appoint for this tournament because we don't have a lack of fund. We can't buy Roland Altmans. We can't give him his fees. So now, right now, we hire Tahir Zaman. He is Pakistani. He is also high performance coach. Ahmed, you know, you also play cricket. So when you have a coach, so give him a proper time, proper period, 2 year, 4 year. So when our coaches know the problem of the team, know the issue of the players. So after this, he
gets changed.
Yes, he gets changed. So in this situation, how we expect that our team will perform.
And I think for the players as well, by the time they're comfortable with one coach and trainer, and then immediately a new one comes, they're also confused what to do. But thank you very much, Najib, for joining us for our hockey segment. We take a short break now. When we come back, we discuss cricket in detail. Stay tuned.
Imagine a language where every gesture tells a story.
Embrace the art of signing and transform your interactions with a language that speaks volumes without uttering a sound.
Begin your journey now and be a part of a world where communication knows no bounds.
Discover the power of sign language and change the way you connect with the world.
News for everyone.
Coming soon on PTV World.
Welcome back, and now we discuss cricket in detail. England have announced their 17-member squad for the Test series against Pakistan. We discussed that. Joining us first of all in studios is sports expert Malik Usman Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, sir?
Walaikum assalam. I'm doing good.
Thank you very much for joining us. We've also been joined by fellow anchor and expert Syed Mohammad Awais. Assalamu alaikum, Awais. How are you?
Walaikum Assalam, Ahmadi. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for joining us. Now, Usman, a very particular side, and I like that Ben Stokes is now making a comeback after injury. It's going to be very important. They've added two spinners, Rehan and Shoaib Bashir, in that as well. And despite Mark Wood's injury, I think there's still a lot in this English squad that can trouble us.
Yeah, if we have not come out the horror of Bangladesh tour, I think England is going to be a very, very different ball game. And I am afraid that it could be the same result as well. Pakistan has to get its act very right. But as far as England is concerned, it seems that they have taken this Pakistan team very seriously. They are sending a very, very strong side. And with Ben Stokes coming back to Pakistan, I think they have enjoyed the hospitality of Pakistan as well. And for that matter, I think Stokes will have a longer stay in Pakistan because as information is coming from England, he may be available for one-day side as well. So England versus Pakistan, which was always a marquee series in the recent past, for Pakistan's performance in the recent past had been diluted a bit. But I think it's going to be a very, very fascinating series, especially when England has sent a very, very strong squad to Pakistan.
Absolutely. Awais, how would you analyze this squad for England that is to tour Pakistan?
In short, gay kaam se. It's not going to be an easy squad. I mean, because, one thing I know that Sri Lanka did win the last match against England. Obviously, that has spoiled the party, but that was a very convincing win. So that literally might have dented the confidence of England. Whereas if you talk about Pakistan, Ahmed Bhai, it's unfortunate that you're out of the Test Championship finals, but you still need to make a landmark over here because, there are many things going on right now in Pakistan dugout, whether the captain might be changed or not against the England series, or what would be your batting order and bowling order against the mighty England. Because if you just look at the England squad right now, Stokes coming back, that makes a strong stance over here, especially the flamboyant cricket kind of a cricket what they play. I mean, the baseball cricket. McCullum is the coach of England, so what type of cricket are they going to be playing over here in Pakistan. Yes, they do have some shekels in between, like Mark Wood not available for the Pakistan series because of injury. That might hurt them, but if you just watch out the whole squad, Ollie Pop, you got different batsmen over there, Butler over there, so they have got a plenty of strong batting lineup. Won't be easy for Pakistan, but this domestic structure, I know many of them have been complaining about the domestic matches which are going to start from tomorrow, the champions, I would say, because you're going to be playing a test series against England, an important test series. But still, for me, one thing is good in it, that at least your selectors, your head coach specifically, Gary Kirsten, even Jason Gillespie will be there to eyewitness the top performers who are performing in that tournament. So they might be in the Pakistan side, because the guys who have performed consistently well in the domestic structure, you got Huraira, you have got Kamran Ghulam, you got Mir Hamza, many of the domestic performers who have been consistently performing well, they need to be a part of the England side. I mean, because see, when you're playing in your home conditions, this is the best chance where you give chances to the uncapped players because they know these conditions very well. It's really hard to see when you give an uncapped player chance in the series like Australia. When you're playing in Australia, that's really not good for him.
But I think they'll still be better than our capped players who completely failed to assess the situation so far.
See, I mean, this is unfortunate. I mean, it's not a new thing, Ahmed Bhai, because we have been misreading pitches from many time. If you remember, it's just not now. Even in the World Cups, we have been misreading the pitch, but it's just not the pitch which actually is under scrutiny, because everyone has been speaking about that. Because what pitch would be against England? Because there might be one match in Pindi, one match in Multan. Multan is a more batting kind of a wicket. The spinners do dominate over there, but obviously they would change that landmark over there. It was the same wicket where even Bangladesh players played on it. They played really well because they had the proper right execution plan how to play. Pakistan, the biggest issue was that because your fast bowlers, even a batsman, did not go through that longer format of cricket, because we haven't played a longer format of cricket in a year. We have been playing shorter format. We don't know how to actually get the wickets of the team, twice wickets of the team, because you have to win the match if you get twice out the England side. So it's going to be a tough series for Pakistan, but all eyes on the Pakistan spin bowling option, the batting order, what goes on. But Babar Azam, I personally feel so might be rested in the test series.
Right, Usman, regarding that pitch, and it's difficult to even ask this question that what kind of condition suits us now, even at home. I mean, the rhetoric that we give is that we read the pitch. Unfortunately, the pitch didn't read us. So that's what's been happening now.
That has been happening for some time now. Avasbhai was just talking about how we could not actually execute our plans on the pitches. I just don't know if it's just about reading or interpretation regarding the pitch conditions, or just we are not able to execute our plans. See, I also spoke about our identity. That identity that Pakistan team should have is lacking. We just don't know what actually we are made up of. During the time of Sarfaraz, we laud Sarfaraz's captaincy a lot. But one thing was there in that Pakistan side, that was Pakistan used to have good spinners, and they had at least a couple of batsmen who could play spin really, really well. Now in this team, we don't have good fast bowlers. I'm sorry to say, we don't have good spinners for some time now, and we don't have batsmen apart from Babar Azam who can play all kind of bowling attacks, and that is the problem we have. Even in home condition, we just don't understand that what kind of pitch should be prepared. If we prepare spin pitches, we don't know how to play good spinners, and if we prepare faster pitches, our bowlers are just not good enough. Just look at the series against Bangladesh. Their fast bowlers outdid our fast bowlers, and that is where Pakistan is lacking. First and foremost, we need to have an identity which we don't have. Secondly, I think our attention is away from the ongoing things which should have been on the ground or in the ground, rather than what is outside the ground. All the talk and chat is mostly about what is happening outside the ground. That is another issue. Avasbhai was also talking about the preparation that Pakistani team is going through, about the captaincy. I completely agree. We just don't know that who is going to lead Pakistan against England. Ben Stokes has made his availability and he will surely lead the side, but Pakistan, forget about the scout, we just don't know who is going to be the captain. So we don't have the clear cut map that is going forward. I think it is always series to series basis. You have brought Shaheen as captain, you removed him after a series. You brought Babar Azam as captain after the World Cup, he is going to go out. You brought Shan Masood as captain after 2 series. He is in doldrums, his future we just don't know whether he will even be in the side if he is out, if he is not the captain of Pakistan side. So Pakistan's plans, if there are any, are all in doldrums.
But
and
Usman,
I'm very surprised.
our change criteria, obviously because Shaheen's was playing a series as well, there were notable performances there. So whether we talk about Huraira, Umar Amin, or anyone, Kamran Ghulam was scoring there as well. So obviously that becomes your go-to crop, and the fact is that familiarity with the format is very important. Currently, a lot of people said that because England was coming for a test series, you should have had your 4-day championship before you held a 1-day championship.
That is exactly I was going to speak when you cut me. That who makes this kind of plans? Who's responsible for these kind of programs?
Not at all.
When you know that you are going to have extremely high-profile series against England, and you suddenly have a 1-day tournament, and that too made up of 4-5 teams, and you are going to choose the best players. Now let me see that if a person like Babar outscores everybody in this series, will he feature in that test series? The question and the news in the media or from some of the sources is he may not even be in the squad as we speak. That is what is going on behind the closed doors. So what are we going to get out from this tournament? I am not so sure. Are you preparing for the Champions Trophy and you are going to let go this England test series? If that is the case, I am very sad. I would be very, very sad about it. So we just don't know. And more importantly, I would like to hear from Gary Kirsten and Jason Gillespie what kind of input they are giving for these kind of plans, because we just don't understand. It seems that it is going series by series, and chairman wants to do a lot of things in a very short period of time.
Absolutely. Avais, this is a very important question now that our go-to replacements were from the Shaheen so far. If Ferreira was included, he wasn't given a debut. Kamran Ghulam wasn't included into the side. All of these questions need to be addressed in that series. And then, of course, like I said, that you could have held your 4-day format right before this test series.
See, Ahmed bhai, there are talks, I mean, because many of them have been speaking about that. Obviously, you're going to be entering a test series again. I know still there is like, you're not even in the test championship final, but obviously you are entering into again a test series, and it's an important test series because you have to make a landmark, you have to make a statement over there, whatever changes Pakistan cricket goes for the England series. It's unfortunate that you don't have much time for this, because I know people have been speaking that we could have had a 4-day tournament or something else so that we could have prepared for that. But one thing what I'm happy about this tournament at least is that the names are being revived again. If you remember in 90s, I mean, this were the names what I as a youngster wanted to play for, Sialkot Stallions, Faisalabad Wolves and all that. Everyone wanted to play for that.
Wolves has been changed, so one name has been changed.
It's now Markhor, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So like everyone is excited about it, and especially I'm just changing the topic a little bit. It's hats off to the Faisalabad crowd.
Absolutely.
Literally, it was amazing. It's still practice matches going on over there. The images coming up. Even you have been speaking to some people.
And Wes, you've been touring all parts of Pakistan. Each and every city deserves to have cricket in their own home.
Yeah, Ahmed, we see if you're sitting over here in Islamabad and we speak about Rawalpindi, the way you get electrifying crowd over here, but literally if you travel to Gujranwala, travel to Faisalabad, if you travel to Sialkot, if you travel even to Dera Murad Jamali, even they're a little bit outside. Even Quetta, if you remember, there was a exhibition match.
Has a
You
setup as
literally have millions of people waiting for the fans. I mean, they love to have crowds over here. One thing is good that the Pakistan Cricket Board has taken over the Faisalabad Stadium and the Gujranwala Stadium. So I hope so you see in near future you see some matches over there. Coming back to the tournament, one thing was good about this tournament is that at least some or 3 to 4 names. I know many of them are complaining about some names, like for example Bismillah Khan, who has been consistent performer from Quetta, Balochistan, who's played for Quetta Gladiators, who has performed for Balochistan region. I don't know why is he not the part of this tournament.
Wes, I have another technical question to you as well. This might be from an amateur's perspective. In the hindsight, I have not seen our fast bowlers, the terminology we use, bending their backs. And you know, even physical attributes say a lot for a fast bowler. I look at Sri Lankan fast bowlers and I'm in awe the way they bend their backs and the way they're giving everything in the past as well. Bangladeshi fast bowlers were excellent to see. It's, you know, our criteria is for a fast bowler is just not a fast bowler anymore.
Ahmed bhai, if you remember, Pakistan is specifically known as a land of fast bowlers. Wherever you go, you get more fast bowlers, like quick fast bowlers over here. But unfortunately, the biggest issue is that the formation and especially the workload management has not been superbly done by the Pakistan Cricket Board. If you speak about the other players of Bangladesh team, about Sri Lankan team, if you look at the fast bowling attack, you have got 1 or 2 players who are basically playing 3 formats for Bangladesh or Sri Lanka or any team I'm speaking about. But if you talk about Pakistan, it's unfortunate the fast bowlers who are playing even for Pakistan, they play all the 3 formats. Okay, fine if they're playing the 3 formats, but do you have a workload management system? You don't have that workload management system. If you remember a series against Zimbabwe, or even if you're playing against Afghanistan, even if you're playing against Ireland, the biggest issue what we have is that we want Babar Azam to be there in all the 3-4 matches. We want Shaheen Shah Afridi to be in all the 3-4 matches. Why can't you give them rest? I mean,
but even from the crop down, Wes, you can, because you're working with the youth side, are we getting fast bowlers from the crop? That's very important.
We do get fast bowlers who clock 147, 148, but literally your youngsters, they want to go for T20. They don't want to play longer formats because it's our mistake. Even it's, see, if you remember, you took an interview when Ramazan tournament was going on about the school cricket tournament. I'm speaking about in Islamabad. Very well organized, at least something was there for the school cricketers. But every coach complained one thing. They said it's brilliantly held, but at least you could, on this age group, you could have got a tournament which could have been a 2-day tournament for a player. So he could have actually known how to play longer format cricket.
Certainly.
In the under-19, under-17 circuit, the biggest issue is that they find out a shortcut to play Pakistan, because they know that if I play PSL or KPL or any other league, whatever is being played in Pakistan, now you have got the Champions Cup coming up, so you have got shortcuts over here.
And when we talk about the Champions Cup, you know, we can easily say that because it's happening in Faisalabad, me and Wes are happy, but someone is even more happy than us, and that is Malik Usman Ahmed. So I think, Usman, we've got to applaud the Faisalabad crowd up till now, and I think they've set the bar very high going into the championship.
We have been speaking about how hospitable Faisalabadis are. I am one of those, and I'm really proud that how they have welcomed the players. And I will not be very surprised if you see good crowd coming for these kind of games, and you can see the enthusiasm that would be going on in the stadium as well. I completely agree what Wes was saying, that you need to have other centers, other avenues for cricketing games as well, because there are a lot of fans of Pakistan cricket team, and with what is happening over the recent times, that we are having lot of league matches, we have franchise cricket, we have other kind of first class cricket, but these are the kind of tournaments which are much more hyped. Not many look into the first class game, but the tournaments like Champions Cup, etc., and the PSL that are much more looked forward to, and cities like Faisalabad, which is one of the most enthusiastic in terms of watching cricket and supporting the Pakistan cricket team. I think it is also a change of cultural exchanges as well. There is a lot of cultural exchange as well. Likewise for Gujranwala, Bahawalpur, Quetta, you need to open up the other avenues, and you would love how the crowd responds to these kind of players and these kind of tournaments.
Absolutely. Usman, that in particular, when we look at our fast bowlers, we even tried making a greenish track. We've just not have what we have needed from a fast bowler to lead the attack. We've seen it all around the world. Mitchell Starc, Pat Cummins, they do it brilliantly, coupled with Josh Hazlewood for Australia. Mark Wood has been leading that for England. You go to India, Jasprit Bumrah for a long time has been leading that attack. They move on to Test cricket. They have the luxury of Mohammad Siraj in there as well. So I mean, teams have identified their fast bowlers and let them do the work. Our side, like I said, they're just not bending their back. One wants to be an all-rounder. One doesn't want to play Test cricket. One probably has come back after injury. He's not been given enough time to settle into the format.
I think the all-rounder player, I know that is Shaheen Shah Afridi, and I think he's a classic case of how to destroy his own career. He's one of those examples, and talking about the other players and the examples that you have given. See, if you're talking about...
I'm a great fan of him.
Anyway, so you were talking about the likes of Pat Cummins, Starc, Wood, Bumrah. See, if you look at the number of matches Bumrah has played and Shaheen Shah Afridi have played, I think it's not even half the matches Shaheen Shah Afridi has played. He has been injured for most of the time for the past 1-2 years, and how many international matches has he played? See, the players have a lot of problem. I think our players have some romance with the numbers as well, the career numbers. I've scored these many runs, these many hundreds, these many wickets, etc. You need to conserve yourself against better, bigger oppositions. It's no use scoring hundreds against Zimbabwe and the smaller teams. I cannot name other teams now like Afghanistan or Bangladesh, because they are equally competent as Pakistan cricket team now. And secondly, how important games do they play? That we don't know. Most of them, if they are not providing their trade in Pakistan cricket, they are playing the franchise cricket. And one way of selecting a player in Pakistan cricket team, unfortunately, has been franchise cricket. If someone is performing well in BPL, he is suddenly in the news, and they are pressurized to have this player in the Pakistan side. Someone is doing well in Canadian Premier League, he is again a star in the making. So how important is first class cricket of Pakistan, and how much media coverage and how much analysis is done on the performance of the players in first class cricket? I just don't understand.
Sorry to interrupt you. There are some. Sorry to interrupt you. There are some players. I mean, I don't want to recall the name. Even Usman Bhai might know them. They perform well, and on the social media, they get picked up one of the leagues in the world.
Okay.
They don't play match over there. They have got some 5 to 6 social media again videos, practicing hard, and they play PSL.
Yes, Usman. So that is another test case for you as well.
That is what I am saying. That see, it is all about media hype. I remember one of our former captains. I will not name him. He once stated on television that Pakistan's team is not selected by the selectors, but it is selected on media. So this is how pressurized our selectors and selection committees and chairmen have been in the recent past. I would like to see that how this things changes. They need to change the mind of the people, not what people are saying.
But Usman, on the 23rd, there's a very important meeting of Pakistan Cricket Board, which is supposed to now overhaul everything. The entire domestic structure is going to be discussed. You and me had this conversation before as well, that we blame the system for failing, but the same system in the past has produced legends for Pakistan cricket.
Exactly. In the previous program, we have spoken about it. I just don't understand that why we are always criticizing the system. Pakistan has won multiple ICC tournaments based on this system. We had talent, but the problem is how hard working the players are now. If you speak to the likes of Arfa, Wasim Akram Waqar, Shoaib Akhtar in the recent past, or any player who has been very, very crucial for Pakistan, with the likes of Yusuf, even Yunus Khan, how talented was Yunus Khan? I think it was more about his hard work rather than his talent. He did not have many shots in his book, but he was extremely hardworking, and that is how you come forward. Look at Shoaib Akhtar, how many injuries did he face? The problem with our current crop of players is they just don't want to work hard. It's all about money, it's all about shortcuts. How many first class matches do they play for Pakistan? In Pakistan, I beg your pardon. Very rarely. The other problem with this Pakistani players are, even if they are not fully fit, they still make themselves available for Pakistan national team with the worrisome or frightness of that someone else may take their position. The problem with our selectors and our people and our public and media is, if someone scores a 50 or a century, it takes a 5-wicket haul, he is an overnight superstar, and we just don't rely on his long-term performances or his past performances, and that is not the way to going forward for a long-term planning. The Pakistan media and Pakistan management and Pakistan selectors have always thought short term. Even if you look at your victories in the past, I'm not taking anything away from that. Most of them have been unexpected, and that has made them overnight star that we did not expect, and you still won everything. It is always about the system, and it is always about your consistent performances that is going to make you great. Look at India, they won one tournament, ICC tournament in the recent past, but they have always featured in a semi-final or a final, and this tournament and this victory was a long time due.
Absolutely. Awais, some of the former greats have categorically highlighted this. Wasim Akram for long has advocated that our bowlers are not just built for longer formats.
Ahmed bhai, with due respect, I've worked with Wasim bhai. I mean, obviously he's a legend. I mean, I respect him a lot. But I just have one question from our ex-cricketers. I'm not pointing anyone. The ex-cricketers who have represented Pakistan, they are one of the reputed names in the world. What is the issue working with the under-19 cricketers?
They don't want to be scapegoats. That's the point.
Do you understand? I mean, because see, you give examples of Indian team. We give an example of Indian team that Indian team 87%, I would say 90% of your players are from the Indian under-19 side, which are representing India, even in the longer formats, the shorter formats too. That's the point where you actually work on the physique level of a player. You build him. You basically build him for the longer formats. Our players don't want to work with them. The biggest issue is financially. The second issue is, remember we were speaking on that day, it's that if he's a head coach, you need to give him some responsibilities. Then he's going to work hard for you. He will be responsible for you. If there are many mouths going on that he needs to be there, obviously that would distract even his performances, even the team unit, I would say. You really need to work with the under-19 cricketers. This the point what we are speaking right now, the Pakistan Cricket Board going to have a meeting on 21st, if I'm not wrong, an important meeting for a whole day.
23rd, yes.
On the 23rd. It's just not your Pakistan structure domestic, even it's the youth cricket structure over there.
Absolutely.
You need to work with them. Even your female cricketers, I mean under 19, what we were speaking a minute ago, that your team has no match, I mean, to play before the World T20, before the World Cup in January coming up. So that's the thing what Pakistan cricket needs to think about.
Right, definitely it has. Awais and Usman, thank you very much for joining us. That wraps up Sports Extra. From me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.